I'm awakened by a girl. What was even more strange is that I also woke up in a room, not outside in a ditch where I had originally collapsed. The girl had her head just above mine. "Hey, you're awake? Are you okay?" the girl says. I couldn't even register what she was saying. That's how confused I was. Alas, my eyes adjusted to the sudden light. The girl was very pretty. She had a beautiful smile. Her long dark hair seemed to make a shroud between her and I and the outside world. I'm okay. Who are you exactly? And thank you for getting me out of the frigid snow. I'm barely able to get out due to my heavy confusion and drowsiness. "Oh, I'm a close friend of yours," the girl says. I doubted this at first, mostly because I would have remembered someone like her in my life. But then I realized that there was a slight chance that I may have a concussion. My head was bleeding, last I remember, so that could have been the case. "I'm really sorry, but I don't really remember you. Can you say your name?" I say, concerned I might offend her. "We're close friends. A lot closer than you might think." She then gets out from over me and leaves the room. I wasn't sure why, but something about this whole thing was off. But I just laid there. As I did, I was thinking about the possibilities of who this girl was. I was also thinking about if my sister was okay or not. I get a call on my phone. It's my sister. I then pick up and answer. "I'm so sorry I couldn't make it. I too also got in a car accident," I say, incredibly happy to hear my sister. "It's okay. It wasn't too bad. I just wanted to let you know that I'm okay. Are you okay?" my sister says reassuringly. "I'm okay. I crashed in front of a girl's house and she actually got me out of the cold and is helping me." I say, still surprised about my own situation. "Okay, that's good, but I still think you should try to make your way to the hospital. Maybe she'll take you," my sister says with a tinge of concern. "Don't worry. I'm sure she will. If not, I'll call one of my friends or mom or dad to get me." "Okay, I've got to get off this phone. I love you, and be careful." "Love you too, and I will." With that, I put my phone back in its side pocket. I then get up and explore my surroundings. I look around the room I'm in. It's a cute little room, with posters of Gerard Way, Marilyn Manson, 9 Inch Nails, and others of the sort. Some of the posters on these walls I didn't understand. Perhaps they were other bands that I've never heard of. There was very little wall exposed for me to actually see, but what little of the actual wall I did see, it was this 70s style wood paneling. The place looked incredibly old, but well kept. This room was obviously her room. I continued to look around, my curiosity getting the better of me. That's when I noticed a corner of a piece of paper sticking out of her bed, between the mattress and the box springs. I pull this piece of paper to discover that it was a missing persons poster for a boy my age. He had blonde, long, curly hair. He was wearing a gray jacket in this picture. His name was Leon Long. But that wasn't the only one. I looked more under her mattress to find 2 more guys missing posters, all of which were around my age. Leon Long was 16, which is my age exactly. The other two were 15. I thought this was odd. Why would she have these missing persons posters? My curious side wants to ask why, but another part of me thinks I shouldn't. I'm not sure why, but something tells me that this is far more nefarious than I expect. Maybe she has them because she wants to find them? Or maybe she has them because she knows where they are? What am I saying? This kind girl saved me out of the frigid cold, and being wary of her is how I thank her? But before I finished that thought, I heard footsteps coming toward the room I was in. So I quickly threw the missing persons posters back under her mattress and jumped back on the bed as if I was up to nothing. Sure enough, she walked in. "Hey, so my parents have made dinner, if you're ready to eat. I'm sure you're hungry from all that, well, crashing," the girl says. "Okay, cool. I'm actually pretty hungry." With that, her and I walked practically hand in hand down the hallway. I thought this was odd, but I didn't think much of it. The house was actually a lot bigger and nicer than I thought. Sure, it looked a bit dated, but was nice nonetheless. The dining room table I was presented with was a long wooden rectangle. The girl and I sat across from each other, long ways, at each end of the table. Her parents sat in the middle across from each other. Her parents, believe it or not, were the creepiest part of this whole thing. Her parents just kept smiling, but their eyes told me a different story. There was slight concern and fear in their eyes. I wasn't sure why this was. There wasn't any immediate danger as far as I was aware of. This dining room was more organized than that of my parents. I miss my parents. For dinner we had pizza. Though the meal wasn't all that elegant, I still felt stuffed afterwards. During the time we were all eating, her parents barely spoke a word to me. She was doing all the talking. Occasionally her mom and dad would ask her how she's doing in school. She would always reply the same way, "I'm doing good." With that, she started talking to me. She asked me a lot of questions that if she really were a close friend, she would already know. Plus, I don't really remember having any female friends. It was nothing personal, I was just shy. I didn't have many friends, period. I had 4 friends to be exact: Jacob, Joanne, Alex, and Daniel. They were my closest friends, my only friends. I honestly had a little crush on Joanne, but I was never gifted in the way with girls as well as love, so I stayed away and tried to be there when she needed me. Jacob was my first real best friend. He moved away recently. Honestly, it made me pretty upset, but I knew there was nothing he could do about it. Alex is my second oldest friend, but he too moved away. Daniel and Joanne are the only 2 still around. Obviously, Joanne is a girl, but not this girl. I remember Joanne distinctly. How could I forget her? This girl isn't Joanne. Who the hell is she? Joanne was short, with hair just a little past her shoulder. Her hair was black with a reddish tint to it. This girl was much taller than Joanne. Also, she had really long jet black hair. Other than Joanne, I knew I had no other female friends. Though this was a revelation to me, I was too tired and in pain to really care at this moment. I just wanted a little rest before I tried anything. Besides, the weather was so bad. that I couldn't even see the road just in front of this house. So with that I ask, "So, am I allowed to stay here? Just for one night?" "Of course you are. Stay as long as you would like," the girl's mother says, still with that concerned look in her eye. "Oh, thanks. But where can I sleep?" I say, a little weirded out by the concern still in the girl's parents' eyes. The girl's eyes quickly dart over to her father. Their eyes met. The way the girl looked at her own father was the look of a murderer. However, I blew this off, thinking every teenager looks at their father like that at some point. I know I do on occasion. Well, I sleep on the couch. The missus sleeps in the master bedroom. "So you two will have to sleep together," the girl's father says with slight uncertainty. I figured these were nice people, but not that nice. I always thought fathers were really strict when it came to sleeping with their daughters, especially a daughter as attractive as her. Also, I still have no idea who the hell this girl is. I would assume that her father also has no idea who I am. I don't really have anywhere else I could go, so even though I was slightly weirded out, I still agreed. The second her father said I would have to sleep with her, she adorably shrieked in excitement and gave a really big and cute smile, as if I was simply a best friend showing up at a sleepover. Maybe these sleeping arrangements wouldn't be so bad, after all. So she grabs my hand and says, "Are you sleepy? You know, we should probably get to sleep. After all, you do need rest." She was right. After a rather filling dinner, I was pretty tired. Plus, maybe a little rest would make me feel better.